Most of us navigate the world as if watching a movie, sitting in a fixed space, recording an objective reality. But imagine the movie skipped frames. Quantum mechanics reveals that at the most fundamental level, observation is an intervention. To measure a subatomic particle is to change its behavior. In the double-slit experiment, an unobserved electron acts like a wave of probability, traveling multiple paths simultaneously. But the second a researcher watches it, the interference disappears. It collapses into a single particle, as if observation forced it to choose. Physicists debate if this effect extends from the subatomic to the macroscopic, raising a difficult question. If the building blocks of matter respond to being watched, does the same principle apply to the complex life we build out of that matter? Our attention likely functions as the mechanism collapsing daily possibilities into a single lived experience. We see this translation from physics to experience through the reticular activating system. The RAS is the biological filter between your environment and your conscious mind. Your brain cannot process every sensory detail. As this diagram shows, the RAS deletes millions of data points every second, only permitting information that aligns with your existing expectations and emotional focus. A person looking for failure will have their brain highlight every minor setback while ignoring success. In that same room, a person looking for opportunity will see paths that are neurologically invisible to the first person. This subjective focus dictates physical outcomes. The Pygmalion effect demonstrates that when teachers expect high performance from a student, the student's actual intelligence scores and behavior rise to meet that expectation. Raw biology follows this same script. The placebo effect shows that a patient's belief in a treatment can physically trigger cellular healing and immune responses, even when the treatment itself is chemically inert. These neurological findings echo philosophical traditions that described consciousness as a creative force thousands of years ago. Esoteric texts and ancient teachings recognized the power of the observer long before we had the tools to map the human brain. The internal state of the body is a reaction to the observer. Conscious attention dictates biological performance and shapes how we interact with the world. On a larger scale, this creates the framework for society. Consider what happens when millions of minds focus their emotional energy on a single narrative at once. Much of civilization is built on shared psychological observation. Currency, legal authority, and market value exist because billions of people collectively agree to see them as real. Modern systems capitalize on this. Algorithms and news cycles fight to capture your observation, knowing that whoever controls attention holds the power to shape the collective reality. Repeatedly watching outrage-driven media builds a dominant internal reality of fear. Over time, the nervous system adapts to this state, eventually mistaking a heightened emotional response for objective truth. Attention is a finite resource. Whoever dictates what a population observes ultimately dictates the physical direction of that civilization. Breaking this cycle requires a shift in perspective. To regain control, you have to recognize that many of the thoughts and fears currently occupying your mind are external programs you've simply observed and absorbed. You can interrupt this programming through meta-awareness, the practice of turning your observation inward to watch your own thoughts without reacting to them. Witnessing a destructive pattern consciously weakens its hold. By stepping back to watch the emotion instead of being it, you reclaim authority. This internal observer is linked to the rest of the physical world. The atoms forming your brain were forged inside the cores of ancient stars. The cosmos evolved over billions of years, eventually creating systems capable of self-awareness. Through your eyes, the universe looks back at itself. Even in a world filled with randomness and pain, the individual's focus remains the final filter of their experience. The universe happens through you. Tomorrow's reality is taking shape right now, based entirely on what you choose to observe today.